Alrighty, I don't know if there's anyone watching. We'll find out the hard way, I guess. This is my first live stream ever. It's kind of surprising, and I just decided I wanted to do some drawing live streams because drawing's fun, and I love recording videos, but I haven't had the time of late to record videos, so just doing some streaming seems like a good idea. Let's see what happens. Anywho, where to start? I think I'm going to actually do some Warframe fan art today because I'm a huge fan of Warframe. I play a lot of way too much Warframe. I have like 3 or 4 thousand hours of Warframe on my Steam account. So seems like a thing to do. And well, with Wukong Prime after arriving, poor old OG Wukong is not getting much love. He's not getting much love at all. So I think I am going to do some OG Wukong Warframe, and I've got a couple of reference images, but I'm not really sure if I want to use either of them because they're rather... Oh well, let's see what happens. So I'm using Procreate. It's fine, although do I want to use Procreate or do I want to use Sketch? I think I'll use Sketch actually. Sketch is by Autodesk. They used to make AutoCAD, and this is a piece of Sarin artwork I've been working on for a while. Come on. Oh yeah. Helpful if you actually plug in your Apple Pencil. And yeah, okay. New sketch. Charging cable, and we're good to go. Okay, so whatever, go away. Create, save current sketch, done. Okay, so I want, where's my fill tool? That is a good question. It's airflow, no. Oh, never mind. And I'm going to use a blue background. This is just a way that I've always kind of done this. I find that a plain white background is hard for me to draw on, and this just works. I'm not entirely sure why it just works, but it does. Okay, that's good. I might bump that up a bit though. Saturation is good. Size 3. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so well, no, that's a bit on the heady side. So head, shoulder line. That's not the shoulder line. That's the shoulder line. Shoulder line extends to arm line. Hands. Chest line kind of goes like that, and not entirely sure I like that. And why do you have a fill as well? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, delete you, add one. That's better. One of the problems I have with this is like my eyesight isn't fantastic, so I tend to use a lot of contrast when I'm drawing because it gives me the option to it gives me a bit more option in how I see things, and because white is rarely used as an outline color, it kind of works for me. How am I going to do this now? That's the question. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to... Yeah? I wish there was a way to move that. I've yet to find a way. If there's a way, I'll find it eventually. Okay, so maybe if we go... Okay, so his helm is actually kind of more like that. and then it kind of comes down around like that because I use that. I want to say it's called the manted, but I don't think it is the manted helm. It has these spiky protrusions. Okay, if that's that, and then this comes like this. Okay, and then his hand comes out like that. That's one hand. Back kind of comes out like that. That gives me the second hand, and then that kind of comes up like that. No, you. And I want to it's not nudge, it's not selection inverted, is it? I'm trying to remember what way it is. Selection cleared. I cannot remember how it works in this one. There's a way to resize and re-edit, but I've never quite worked it out. But I have to say, for doing rough outs, I much prefer this as a program, because it just, I think, works a lot better. Why are you? We know that's the hand. Really trying to figure out how to do this, and I'm actually thinking I might scrap this altogether. Maybe just do it in Art Rage, even though it doesn't have the same type of tools. But it does have some nice tools, so it might be worth doing that. No. Yeah. Add layer. Close down. Dash. Yeah. There's actually a big problem I have with with art programs on the iPad, and that is there's a lot of options, and all of them they do something better than the others. So it's a matter all the time of balancing the two against each other, and it's a pain. It is a pain. What can you do? Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, so if we do his head up here, right? Then the line of his body comes down like this. One leg comes out like that, though maybe not quite that out of scale. And then this leg kind of comes out like this, and then that gives us our that, and then we know that the shoulder line is actually kind of this way. So if that's the shoulder, and then this is one arm, and that'll come up to the pauldron there, and then that'll come across there, and then that's the hand, that's the second hand, which means that this then comes down. I really could have picked an easier reference for this. I really could have. But this is a rough out anyway, so I'm not too concerned. Yeah. And then that gives us, this is that. Don't think it should be quite that steep, but anyway. Right. Boy, I picked a really hard reference for me at this scale level, because one of the things is I've been teaching myself to draw, and I'm not good at it. I am not good at it. Okay, so this is the back, right? Which means that it comes down here. And then this is all part of his clothing. And this comes down. Yeah. Okay, we're getting there now. That should work. I hope. I really hope that works, because I haven't a clue. Oh well. So I think that should be more like that. And then we know that's the line of the shoulder, so that's where his pauldron ends. And this is pretty much how I draw, because I tend to go for a lot of references and then, oh, that's a mess. I need to fix that. Okay, so let's start by refining the face a little. Okay, so no, you there. Okay, so that will give me just a rough idea of the center. And then this comes further out again before coming down and almost joining in. And then on this there's kind of a hook. Reduce the opacity on that to like 50%. Yeah, that'll work. And then that kind of comes in over there. That gives us kind of a hook there. And this has a hook here. And that'll work, I guess. Okay, that gives me that at least. So if I come out here like this, and that comes down to here. A bit flatter than that. And then neighbors are back. That'll work. And then we have, this is actually almost up here, so there like that, there like that. And I'm sure this looks like a god awful mess right now, but it'll look better eventually. It's a little on the wide side, I think. So if that's, actually that should be about there, so there's that. And then and you come back to oh boy, the scale of that's wrong. Oh, this is going so well. Not. Starting to think I should scrap this. Okay, that's not bad. It's not right, but it's not bad. And then if I do, okay, so I know that's almost right. So if we do that, get rid of this. Yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. Okay, so you're going to come down around and up. Okay, and then this actually does come back up like, actually that's fine. Look at it, and then that is going to come around like that. You're going to curve. And okay, happy with that. over. You. And I just realized my microphone was switched off. Yay! Okay, so let's figure this out. You're going to come down. And I'm not even going to try for complete, like, perfect copy, because what's the point? It's fan art. Yeah. Next layer. And this one. Yeah, I'm not going to be using any green. And we'll swap over to, no, it's not that, that's not fine enough. That should work. Should. Should. Works for that, and that works for that, and that works for that. I'm trying to remember that this guy is actually pretty damn chunky, because he is the Monkey King. He is not just a slim, svelte, high-speed warframe. He has a bit of heft to him. Now, you have kind of that, and you drop through, and you come up, and you come down, around, and through. Right. I think that needs to be rounded a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Then you've kind of a weird little pattern here, which kind of, I don't know. I think it's just a decoration, but maybe it's something else. I don't really know. I need to look into more into the legends of the actual Chinese legendary deity Wukong, seeing as that's what this guy is based off of. Yeah, that works. That's not bad, all things considered. Around, and this kind of comes back and like that. Yeah. That's not too bad. Actually getting somewhere now. And you are going to come all the way down to here. And actually that's going to come in and around like that, because these are going to be that works. Okay. And like that. Okay, what's next? Through. I think I need to go more for kind of the feeling of Wukong, because going for absolute accuracy with the Wukong Warframe is just not happening. But Wukong is kind of a thick boy, despite the fact that he can apparently balance on a, I was going to say a piece of wood, but let's be honest, his staff in this game is not a piece of wood. Not really sure what it is. I don't know if they've ever told us exactly what it is, but I kind of like it. Okay, so this comes across, and then we have this kind of, I think it's meant to be the umbral symbol. I think. I want to say it's the umbral symbol. Oh, viewers, hi. Drawing Wukong for some reason, because I'm absolutely crazy, and this is what I've decided to do for penance for something or other. But yeah, comes like that, and you come down around like that. Nice, that works. We'll just tie that up a little bit there. Okay, so that comes down to there, and then we have this pauldron thing here. And that comes all the way up to here, and it becomes kind of squared, I think. I think that looks right. Not entirely sure, but note to self, next time pick an easier to understand reference. Okay, but that actually comes off. It's angled rather than anything else. Okay. Then you're going to come down to here, and then that's going to come across to there. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I've finally kind of figured out what it is I'm doing. Yeah, that's it. You're up to here. Yeah, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so that's kind of... And you're going to come back around like that, and then you're going to come down around like that. Yeah, and then that's that. It's a little bit better. This comes up along, and it kind of does this infill sort of. Yeah, I like that. Actually like that a lot. I have to say I really love Wukong. He's... well, I should say I love the mythology of him. I kind of wish that DE had gone out of their way to work on an actual mythology for him in game, but Bubble Mint, can't beat it. Nicest chewing gum on the market at the moment. Okay, so you're going to come down like that. So one of the things I love about drawing warframes is just how freaking nuts their form is. their form is absolutely crazy. It's so complicated. I need to smooth that. Screwed that up badly. And then that is some kind of, I think this is actually meant to be a rotation joint, but it's never quite made sense to me why Warframes would have these, seeing as that they're supposed to be essentially organic robots. I think organic robots. Warframe, the only game in the universe that has a lore as confusing as the lore from Dark Souls, but without Dark Souls' depth. I know it has lore, I just have no idea what the lore is. Except that Space Mom is awesome. And she's coming back to us someday, I hear. Okay. And up. Can actually reduce the opacity on that down 50% as well. Makes life a little bit easier. And we're going to go in this straight down, across. Needs to be a bit more pronounced, and that needs to come kind of down to there. I think that works. Yeah. I'll be able to start the actual line art now after I've got this bout of refinement done. I'm just going to take that in a little. Okay, and you have kind of a square. It's too. There we go. And you're kind of the same. You come down like that, and then I'm trying to avoid using too much line stabilization. But not the easiest thing in the world. Not when you have kind of ligament damage in your hands. It makes life very difficult if you want to do anything artistic. You could. And that's across to there, and that's. I'm not really sure what this does, except that there is a piece of highlighting across here for some reason. And you come up, and that's that. Okay, I'm happy with that, more or less. I think he has like a piece of, I don't know, kind of armor, like here on his chest. And if he doesn't, he does now. Oh. I love my iPad. I love my Apple Pencil, but it's very, very tiring. Well, after almost an hour, considering my usual drawing period is kind of similar to that, but spread out a little bit more. Okay, so hang on. U. Now that's it. Actually, I think I might need to scrap that for the second, and that's actually just a guideline. Okay, so that's the way that comes down. Okay, it makes sense now. And again, I'm kind of struck by the way it just looks like an umbral forma. It's bizarre. You come like that, and then you come all the way down. Yeah, I done screwed up. This needs to be moved over a little. To here. And then that comes down here. This needs to be, yeah, all this needs to be moved over slightly. And by slightly, I mean quite a lot. Yeah, okay. So that means this needs to be much steeper. I know that that needs to have that oval. That goes to there, and then that comes down here. Means all this can go away. There's one thing I really dislike about ArtRage on the iPad. It doesn't have a select tool. I mean, I get they had to find processing and system resources somewhere. I just really wish they hadn't gone with copy and paste and selection tools, because important bloody tools. Really freaking important tools. Oh. Okay, so you're going to come down like that. And you're going to come down like that. Okay. And they go to the same level as this, and then they come basically straight down. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Not quite sure where, but we're getting somewhere. Yep, And that gives me my center line for this, which is where his he has these two tassels, and that's where the tassels come out of him, out of his helmet, not out of him literally, because that would be painful. There. Yeah. That'll work. That'll work perfectly. For this layer at least. Now, I just need to get that hand in. Because there is a hand that pops out on this side. And this is going to be a real struggle because hands are not my thing. Weirdly, noses are something I'm good at. Hands, not so much. It's so hot. Okay, so let's try and figure this out, shall we? Okay, so it kind of comes out on a curve. And that looks about right for that curve. Oh god, my hands are awful. Well, at least I can laugh at myself, I suppose. Which is, I understand, quite a healthy thing. Although I could be wrong about that. Oh wow, that's gone wrong. How in the hell am I going to fix that? Because the idea is his hand is back like kind of like that. Because Wukong does this movement with his agility animation set, where he spins a pole arm around his hand and it actually leaves his hand for a second. So his hand kind of goes back like that. See, that may not be the worst way of doing it, to be honest. Although if I clean this up a little bit, it might not look quite so crap. Although, let's be honest, it's gonna look crap. It's a hand and I'm drawing it. It's gonna look like crap. Yeah, close enough. Well, close enough for government work at least. And his leg armor has this. His leg armor is kind of interesting, actually. It's meant to be, I think, something like I think it's meant to be kind of I'm trying to think of the word for it. I want to say a djinn, but it's not. I know that's the wrong word. Essentially, kind of like oriental bamboo armor that floats with the leg, but I haven't seen it I haven't seen that armor in person, so I don't really know what way it's supposed to be. No, I mean, if it was chainmail or plate, yeah, no problem. Used to make that crap, for crying out loud, but yeah, it'll do, I guess. Now, one of the problems with this is just like his hand is kind of, his leg is kind of twisted back on itself because he's in this kind of rotated posture, and I don't really see a way of doing this neatly. Actually, I don't think there is a way to do this neatly. I think it just, I know it goes to there, and then this comes back up and vanishes in here, because it kind of goes back up like that and then up and comes in. So we can get rid of this, get rid of that, kind of refine it a little. No, yeah, that'll work. That'll work nicely. Okay, that'll do. If I hide that, and that'll let me get a little bit more refinement into this layer. That's wrong. That's about right. Actually, the hand isn't as bad as I thought it was, and when the pole arm he's swinging is behind him, it'll actually make a lot more sense. And especially if I was to bring that a little bit further forward. That should do a bit better. And what I can do is, this kind of has this, it's the thing with warframes. Warframes have they're organic weapons, so they have a lot of really peculiar, like really weird musculature and really weird bioengineering, I guess is the word for it. Could be wrong about that, but anyway. And then you come up to here, you kind of just peter out along here. That'll do the trick. Except that I forgot to do his foot. His foot is kind of, well, like everything else in WUkong, his foot is kind of bizarre. It kind of reminds me of Bugs Bunny, actually. He has this really pronounced kind of padded area here, and it makes it very much like Bugs Bunny. He kind of has this thing going on. It's bizarre. It's really freaking weird, but I've never quite gotten the way that they design feet in Warframe, because they just do not look at all like they should work. They just don't look like feet that any living thing would ever have. They're just bizarre. Really freaking weird. Okay, so we can hide that, I think. Yeah, that'll do. And now we just need to add a little bit of kind of just some basic refinement to his chesticles. And you kind of come down around that, and then he kind of has this shallow line there. This should be a little bit more pronounced. Which will give me that, which will come back to here, and then that, and then this kind of comes to here. Sorry, I don't talk a lot. Not the talky kind. Despite what my Let's Plays would lead you to believe. That looks reasonably. Yep, that's good enough. Next layer. What colors do I have on file? Yeah, you'll do. 3. Yeah, that should do. And then you come like that. Not trying to get too hung up on fingers, because when I get hung up on fingers, bad things happen. Like really freaking bad things happen. The only thing I wish I could do on my iPad that I can't do, because it's really useful for something like this, is showing the cursor. It's an option I use on my tablet monitor all the time, because it's just useful. It's just very, very useful. But guess it's not an option on this, unfortunately. And I'm now at the point where I'm going to be doing a lot of probably needlessly fine work, but you know. Let's try that again. funny. When you look at his face, and you actually look at his features, he's a lot less like a monkey and a lot more like some kind of praying mantis. I wonder how much of that was by design and how much of it was by accident, because I don't know, it kind of feels to me like a lot of it could have been by accident. I'm just going to drop the opacity of this. Oh, wrong one. Not happy with this, so we'll just clean it up a little bit. One of the things I do love about Art Rage, like there are things I don't like about it. I really wish it had copy and paste tools, but it doesn't, unfortunately. But one thing I do love about it is just the wealth of drawing tools it leaves at your fingertips, because it's just amazing how many kind of random coloring tools and line art tools it gives you. It's amazing how many there are. And I apologize for that bloody notification showing up all the time. Unfortunately, anytime my skin hits my iPad when my pencil is near the screen, it does that, and it's really freaking bizarre. I'm not quite sure why it does that, but it does. And yeah, it is what it is. So I'm going to bring this down. I used to do my line art a totally different way. And in some ways I prefer the way I used to do it, because it was much more, I suppose controlled is probably the word for it, because the way I would work it is, like, if I was to do, say, two intersecting lines, what I would do is I would swap between layers, and I'd do the second line, and then I would do that. And it's very precise, but it's also very time consuming. It adds a lot of lined canvas movements that I'm not a fan of. So I'm just as happy to have done away with that. I mean, I do miss it because of the amount of control it gave me over movement and the like, but I'm not going to complain too much. I mean, it was useful at the time, but I like to think that I've outgrown it. I like to think. The reality may be quite different. You come down and you go up. And you go down to there. Real problem now is trying to remember what exactly what is, because I usually have kind of like a set of notes that I keep with me, and unfortunately, like, notes of this line is this and this color represents that, and I didn't for this for some reason, and I kind of wish I had. No, I hadn't forgotten that. I was trying to ignore it, to be quite honest. Okay, and you're going to be coming all the way down around to that. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. And this comes up around like that. It's kind of he has this. It's kind of like an ear. Well, it's meant to be an ear, I'm pretty sure, but maybe that's what I should try and do. Yeah, maybe if I get rid of that altogether and yeah, actually, I know where I've gone wrong. I can see it now. Okay, so that comes down. Okay. So you come up around and around like that. Yeah, that's right. And then this comes up around and kind of largely follows it, because these are actually meant to represent his ears. Okay, great. And this then actually kind of comes down and in, and then there's a kind of that, whatever the hell that is meant to be. And so that comes down to there, in, diagonal, that comes down like that, and then comes down. And then that area back here is filled in with kind of a black infill. Bizarre. Okay. So if I get rid of that. Kind of lost. I really should have gone with an easier to comprehend reference, because damn, doesn't help that they're the inbuilt screen cap device, their god damn it, screenshot capture is JPEG only. Makes it really difficult. Oh, well. We have one thing left to do, which is he has a little that. Now, so yeah, I'm going to do about another 40 minutes of this. I'm finishing up at 9. Quite aside from this being my first ever live stream, I'm also pretty damn tired, and I probably left it too late in the day, to be honest, to be starting this, but you know, what are you going to do? And I'm just going to need to stop. I know my body will punish me severely, but I intend to continue this on Saturday at about 3 p.m. Well, not about 3 p.m, at 3 p.m. Politeness, I hear, is the God damn it. Punctuality is the politeness of kings are, so I hear. So I am reliably informed. So, yeah. We shall be doing that. Now you have not even sure I've done this right, but fuck it. It's fan art. No one expects the Mona Lisa. Or maybe people do, and they're going to be immensely disappointed, in which case, sorry. Okay, so and then you can go to there, and it has this line across there. There's one thing in my favor with this. It's the fact that they have a lot of very geometric shapes. Okay, I've almost got this right. This part needs to continue down a little bit further. So if I pare that back a bit and I bring it here, and that comes to there, and then that comes all the way down. And that should work. Part of this is practice for a webcomic that I'm working on. I need to get over the whole it has to be perfect, it has to be perfect, it has to be perfect, because that is going to kill my productivity more quickly than literally anything else imaginable. So yeah, that needs to be done. I generally find that when I do hands a bit more mechanically, like I came at art from tech graphics, used to be called mechanical drawing, technical graphics was what it was when I learned it, which admittedly was in the 90s. So I find it easier to kind of come at physiology from the point of view of, oh, it's basically it's a machine. So if I do this, it makes perfect sense because it's a machine, and this connects to that, and that connects to the other. And when you get down to it, the human body, it's curves, but a lot of the curves are describing quite straight lines. So I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I am just crazy. At which point my partner screams upstairs. Nope, she's crazy. And I die a little inside. But not really. Just going to smooth that out a little bit. It's not quite as, well, mechanical as all that. And you kind of come back. Sometimes this behaves really weirdly, and I'm hoping someday to find someone who actually has commercial experience with this piece of software, because it has a lot of peculiarities that I'm not entirely sure if it's just me not understanding it. Like that. It just randomly resizes the screen for absolutely no goddamn reason I can tell. And you know, fine, it's not immensely annoying, but it's a little bit annoying. Okay, we do that. Clean this up. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Like, there. When I zoom in that much, which admittedly I probably do more than I should, lines become kind of a little bit uncooperative, I suppose, is the way to put it. And that comes all the way down to there, and then that comes all the way back up. I suppose it could come down, that jerkiness could come down just to processing power at that level of magnification, because I'm sure it's not designed for that level of magnification whatsoever. I need to bring this back down a little bit. That we need to drop down to like there, I would guess. Yeah, that works. And this is going to come over like to there. And you kind of go not quite like that, but like that. And then this, oh, that's that black, isn't it? So I need actually need another layer. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That and that. And we want really you. Yep, you'll do nicely. You get sealed like that, and the rest of in there will be filled with a darker color, so that's okay. While we have this, may as well work on this. So that's all the black, and then this comes. I should point out this is not exactly what he looks like. This is probably more like my interpretation of what he looks like, because it's an artist's impression. Let's call it that. Let's just say it's an artist's impression and leave it at that, because down any other path lies madness and me screaming and wailing. And you need to be cleaned back to there. and that kind of goes up and about, so that doesn't really need one, but this does. So this kind of goes from here, and then it kind of comes up. Why did you do that? I honestly wonder, is it... No, it's not overheating. Which you'd think I would know, considering holding it. That's not terrible. We can add some detail now in here. And you to there. You to there. There, and we just clean it a little bit. Oh. And it's getting darker and darker. I have to apologize for the lighting on my camera. I have not had an opportunity to work on it as yet, but mostly because right now my office space is in my bedroom, so yeah. Just how it is for now. I think, you know, it should be similar to that, so it should be kind of back. And then you kind of go back to here, and you go to there. And this side then has the same kind of physical feeling to it, and it's not too bad, I don't think. Okay, and that should probably come down like that. Not perfect, but it'll do. And I think I'm actually done with the black. I think now it's red. Because being a loyal daughter of Cork City, I of course always have red in something. Although I should finish the gold before I do anything else. Not that this particularly looks like gold, but you know, we will pretend. Oh my god, it's so hot. I mean, it's 8:30 and it's absolutely roasting. It's ridiculous. And this house is funny. I only moved in here recently, and God, that it's so weird when it comes to heat in this house because it goes from extremely cold to stupidly hot extremely quickly. And like when I say stupidly hot, I mean just fucking ridiculously hot. Okay, that's basically a line to here. Just stupid hot. I'm going to say that a lot because it's stupid hot. It really is just ridiculously, ludicrously hot. So yeah, that does come across to there. And then it just kind of drops. And across to here, and down to here, and that's not awful. It's not quite right, but it's not awful. I suppose, yeah, best way to describe this is going to be it's an artist's impression of what I think WUkong looks like. Despite the fact that I have an exemplar right in front of me on the screen, and there is no excuse for how not like WUkong this looks, but what you gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'll watch a movie after this. Or I might play a little bit of not Warframe. Not Warframe. I do not want to play Warframe after this. I just want to play Dragon's Dogma, I think. If you haven't played Dragon's Dogma, it's an action role-playing game by Capcom. And it's one of the very few games that I think deserves the Dark Souls of treatment. Because it does share some commonalities in that the lore is as obtuse as all hell. The story is difficult to understand. To begin with, at least. It has a lot of weird mechanics that you'd never actually expect to be mechanics. That's not quite right. Okay, so you kind of that. It's weird that it's doing that. It's actually kind of not taking the command. Let's try that again. I think this has a 0, which is just a single pixel. Thankfully that's a command that it has, because I hate to think just how ridiculously convolutedly difficult this would be otherwise. Okay, so that's, if I go into my that layer, yeah, that's right. You know, it occurs to me I should probably save this as something. WUkong? No. WUkong stream. Save. Because they would have absolutely sucked if that had just crashed and I lost all of that, which has happened to me way too many times. Yeah, it's time to add the red layer. The red layer can go in between. I can always move it around as necessary. Actually, that needs to move. That needs to go beneath the yellow. Because otherwise it's going to impact on everything. I'm going to try and smooth that line out a little bit because it's not what it should be. That's better. The one thing that drives me nuts is my lack of ability to do truly smooth line work. Okay. Okay, so that actually needs to kind of neighbors are back. Didn't actually know they were gone. To be perfectly frank. Also doesn't help the way that... Oh, that's what that is. Okay. I was going to say it doesn't help that's the way that these glitch. Like, ornamentation in Warframe is notorious for clipping into itself and bugging out on itself and a whole lot of other things to itself. Okay, that's not too far off of where it should be. Except that that needs to come down to there as well. And then on the gold level we have this decorative bit that kind of comes, and I'm just going to do this. I might just do it as a line rather than as anything else. Yeah, it's not quite right. Here we go. That'll do. That'll do, I think. There, red, dark. That goes back to there. And that's that. I think that comes to there, that comes to there, and then that comes back to there. Actually, that kind of works. That kind of fixes the hand in its position in space. I'm happy with that. Except that that's not quite right. This is meant to be gold. Gold! I love gold! No, that's not right. Yeah. Too far. Yep, that's fine. You, then you come back to here. I'd very much like to get this stage of line art finished. Oh, I just realized where I can see the names of the people watching. So hello, Energize Bot, and Lurks, and Tade. Presume it's Tade. Thanks for joining me. Unfortunately, I have only 20 minutes left on this particular stream, but I will be back again on Saturday with more for my sins. Well, I say for my sins. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this. You. No. You give me actually yellow. Come on. That'll do. And hang on, am I in the right window? I am. Right layer even. That'll do. I think that's it. We're going to get this finished. We are going to get this finished. And then we were back to 2. Oh well. Or not. I can't believe I did that. No, that's not what I want. I want red, isn't it? Is that right? Kind of. Not a big fan of this way of, like, I love Warframe. I love the Warframes and how they're kind of lumped together, but there are aspects about their design that just suck. And this is honestly one of them. Okay. that'll do to there, and that looks reasonable. Like a reasonable facsimile of what I'm supposed to be doing. You're going to there. To there. Yeah, it's not right. That's a bit better. That needs to be. This has kind of a peculiar kind of, yeah, that's about right. And then this kind of goes through there and through there. That's not awful. It's not fantastic, but it's not awful. Let's see, what else is there to be done here? So that kind of comes. Okay, so hang on. This comes from here, and it kind of follows the line, and then it kind of doesn't do that. I'll tell you that much right now. It does not do that. And then nice and black, and that goes to there. I am in the right layer. I am. Just clean that line a little. And clean that line a little, and we're good. That's that. Gold. You and you come around, and you come around. And I think that should do, and then it should just have a not happy with that line. It's too thick, way too thick. Have to say, if you're thinking about getting into digital art and you don't know if a tablet monitor is for you, get an iPad, get an Apple Pencil. Completely and utterly worth it. Hi Amod, I think you're the newbie. Assuming you're actually on here, I'm not entirely sure. Hard to tell because I don't really know what I'm doing. Try. That'll do that, and then you come to here. He has the weirdest feet, but I kind of like them. They kind of have this, well, they actually look kind of simian. Never thought I'd say that about a robot monkey. Assuming he is a robot. It's hard to tell. I mean, hi Amod. Waves. It's kind of hard to tell with Warframe's lore whether he is a robot or whether he's, I don't know, by augmentation. I don't know. All I know is that he was always kind of tanky, and now since his rework, holy crap on a stick is he tanky. I've never seen anything like he's basically immortal. I mean, if you used the regen mods that go with your Sentinel with Wukong, fucker's immortal. You can't kill him. Well, you can, but it's really fucking difficult. Like, Captain Vor is going crazy dealing with this guy. And, you know, good. Because Captain Vor is an asshole. That'll do. Am I actually finished? No, I'm not finished the line work. That was foolish. That was a very foolish thought. Finish the line work, my arse. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to drop it down to 1. Because this is all going to be now kind of finer lines. So I'm not going to want a lot of size in them. No, that's wrong. That's right. And then, yeah, a second. No, that's fine. I think. I hope. And that'll do for that. I need to put. I never filled in the rest of his arm. No, not happy with that. And then we do that back down to 1. And we can kind of bring a line back to there. So I'm hoping you can kind of get where I'm going with this, because the idea with this is, like, say I add an extra layer and I decide I'm going to go, like, the red parts of them are going to be like, god damn it, that red. If I pump this up to, like, say 30, you get this nice in color, like this toned outline, but it's the color, it's still in the color family, so it's not as vicious, I suppose is the way to put it. And it also allows me to have a lot of flexibility in how I'm going to shade things, which is nice. No, 1. And not that. What? Oh, that explains that. We're short a little bit on the gold, which is here, which is going to be there's a little bit here, And then this comes down, across, down. That one's thicker because it's a more solid piece. And then there's like a decorative piece. That's wrong. Decorative piece there. That'll do. And then we also have no, not that. A lot more of the Freddy Bot. Hey Freddy Bot. I have a lot more of the kind of, it's kind of like this kind of inclusions styles of lines that are just there to give a sense of form. I think that's the word for it. I could be wrong. I most likely am. That's that. How are we doing for time? We are running a little bit short on time, unfortunately. And it really is, unfortunately. Ooh, I have a couple of things left to do, don't I? I have a few pieces of that left to go. For one thing, that joins in there. Might need to. That is really bad. Wow. All I can say is thank the gods for raster images. I know vector graphics are the industry standard, but I love my raster drawing applications because they're what I grew up with. As a matter of fact, my first art application was Microsoft Paint version 1, which is aging me a lot. But yeah, that is literally what I learned to draw originally on. That's not too bad. And then this, that's not right. Okay, we'll take that off. And this and this. What are we doing for time? Just coming up to the end because I have a partner. She works. She needs to sleep. And she literally just pulled up outside. So let's have a quick look, see if there's anything else in the line art that jumps out. Not really seeing anything. So I am going to leave it there because I'm just over the 2-hour mark. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back on Saturday with more of this. I'll be back on at 3 p.m. on Saturday. I'm aiming to do 2 weekly streams, one on Thursday at 7 p.m, one at Wednesday at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. one will go until 6, so that'll be at 3 hours, and Thursday will be a 2 hour. Right now, that's all the time I have for streaming. But anyway, thanks a million for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day, be good, and bye for now.